Good morning, everyone. This is Jeff of the Cyber Pro podcast back with another episode near the holidays. Today, my guest is Vic, and he's going to tell us a little bit about Hayes Locum and what he does. So, with that, I'd like to say hello to Vic. Can you please tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Sure. Thanks for having me on the show, first of all. My name is Vic. I'm the director of IT over here at Hayes Locums. Overall, my job's to support and guide the support and infrastructure teams at my company. I'm kind of responsible for the overall enterprise architecture and design of our systems. That includes everything from, like cybersecurity, networking, infrastructure, and everyone's favorite buzzword, public cloud. But don't get me wrong, though, like half my day is still like problem solving and technical work because I don't really want to get rusty. So,
Yeah,
um,
yeah. And so with that, from that director level, from that big seat in the house, no pun intended, love the background, by the way. Tell us a little bit about what your day is like as a cyber professional, sitting in a position where you need to direct and work with multiple teams across different verticals. Tell us a little bit about
um, it really comes down to like switching hats, given the situation. I really like to start my day of trying to figure out what our problems are for that day and kind of scaling up from there. You want to put out the daily fires first and start looking at trends. Is there a larger problem at hand? Is there a way we can improve? And these daily hints kind of lead to something bigger. And that's kind of the point. And being in that big seat is where you can ingest all of this information and do actionable responses to them.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about actionable responses. We're going to talk a little bit about security specifically because that's the name of our podcast. So from that big seat, what are some of those actionable items that you see uh, here and now, and perhaps what you see coming up in the near term when it comes to cybersecurity and how it relates to your clients?
Man, that's actually kind of a loaded question. You really want to look at the landscape of what you have now, and I really try to make a focus on reading on what industry trends are, what the major threat actors are, kind of pinpoint what people are targeting, malicious actors are targeting, and pivot around that. Full disclosure, we're a heavy Windows shop, we're a very Microsoft heavy shop. So we kind of look at where are those threats coming from and how do we secure our endpoints and our environments based on our needs and not so much the things that don't matter as much.
Bang, love it. Thank you for that. It is hard, and it was sort of a loaded question, and that's sort of the point, right?
Yep.
Everybody has a different perspective of what cybersecurity means and means to them,
Mhm.
as well as those that they serve. And so, the purpose of the question was just to see your perspective, and I think we have a better idea on that. So that gets me into question number 4. Love the question. What insights or advice about the level of laziness I'll go to in order to have a restful night's sleep would you care to share with our community?
Sure. Quite frankly, I brag about this, but I am the laziest person you'll ever meet. My team and I, we work hard all day so we can rest well during our off hours. We can travel and disconnect when we need to. And that's where like the laziness is kind of motivated from. We design with broad vision, we implement with focus, and we maintain a constant vigilance of our environment. That 80/20 rule kind of only gets you so far. You really want to get into the details to achieve true laziness. Kind of IT historically has been like seen as a cost center, so I'm happy to see a more modern forward thinking company, and they're kind of changing the mindset around IT. I see IT as a revenue multiplier where we make things easier for our users, and in this you know increasingly connected world. Business processes are more automation driven. Digital tools allow us to like multitask and coordinate on like a global scale. It feels good that knowing our work has a positive impact on people. And our goal has always been to implement best of breed solutions across all technological verticals. So, that includes everything like from networking, endpoint security, firewalls, SIEM, cloud access security brokers. You really want to cover all your bases. And I can't stress the importance of having a multi-layered security stack or an infrastructure stack. There is security in layers. It's like a bank. You have more than one door, more than one key. You want to limit access and avenues into where you keep your gold.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And I want to be just like Vic. I'd like to be more lazy. So I'm going to do a quick follow-up question on that. You talked about best in breed. You talked about implementing multi-layers of solutions to handle different aspects of what cybersecurity could look like. But in an effort to become more lazy, what do we need to do during our on hours to better prepare and better fortify what we already have existing so that when we do rest, we can rest well?
The most important thing I can say is don't get in the habit of cutting corners at all. It's a slippery slope that leads to business and security or documentation gaps that'll eventually rear its head. We all want to hit that finish line as fast as we can, but we want to make sure afterwards we have that ability to rest and we're not playing catch up afterwards. And it's important to invest in yourself both professionally and personally. I try to make sure my team has access to training and certifications, and they kind of keep their skills sharpened. Because you don't want to let the arrogance of success deter you from growing. The tech landscape is always changing, and so should you. And one of the other things I really want to focus on is you lean on those around you. Not everything has to rest on your own shoulders. As a leader, I would rather cultivate rather than be a mitigator to success. For example, in my day to day, I try to help my team accomplish their tasks by providing access to resources and information they need. And I've never seen anyone complain about a roadblock being removed, except by those in cybersecurity. Please, please, please stay as roadblocks. Nobody wants ransomware. So.
Well put. Well put. Thank you for that. Hey, for those of our viewers who want to learn a little bit more about you, Vic, some of the things that you do in your practice, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
I'm available on LinkedIn. Feel free to add me. I'm trying to become more active on there. So, shoot me a joke, shoot me a question, and I'll reply back the best I can.
Nice, nice. Well, you got to step up on your jokes. We've heard some good ones recently. And on that one, question number 5, our final question. It's a little bit of a fun question. Tell us a little bit about your favorite piece of retro technology that makes you smile.
Ooh, so I'm actually moving into a new spot, and at the top of my list, I want an arcade cabinet with all the classic games to just kind of have and kind of bring back those old memories, or a Super NES classic, just so I can play Super Mario World.
Nice, nice. Well, hopefully you'll share when you get that closet set up. And on that, Vic, thank you again for your time. We hope that you and yours have a very happy holidays and be well.
Thank you.
You made it to the end. Thanks for watching the Cyber Pro podcast today. You can find more content here and there.